Hey guys, I'm here to do the Book Lovers Survey by Richard Denny, and I'm just going to get straight on into it. Okay, so do you remember how you developed a love for reading? I know that from a very early age I was reading a lot, and I just I guess I read to escape a lot of the time. My family life was very hectic, very bad sometimes, but I used to get swapped around people a lot as well, if I can remember correctly. I used to get swapped between my parents and my grandparents and everything like that. So I developed this sort of connection with books because it gave me a chance to escape, but it also gave me a chance to find solace in characters and friends and situations and adventures that I could kind of relate to, and also just really devour and love and just sort of immerse myself in from a very young age. I apologise for that horrible song. Where do you usually read? I usually read in my bed because I try reading outside. Sometimes I read on the train when I go to the city, and that's really the one of those times where it can be hit or miss, but usually in my bed all the time. I just love my bed so much. I do everything in my bed. Do you prefer to read one book at a time or several at once? Well, currently I'm actually reading 13 books at once right now, so I find it really hard to read one book at a time. I'm very good at keeping up with different characters in different books. I don't really get confused so much. Unless the books are very, very, very alike, even then I tend to read a little bit of, one day and take a break and then read another the other day so I don't get confused. What is your favourite genre? I don't have a favourite genre. I don't like playing favourites. I just love books in general. But if I really, really have to and not be sitting on the fence, I will probably say that my favourite genre would have to be kind of magical realism. I just love that kind of book. What genre will you not read? There's not really many genres that I won't read. I don't really like reading about war. Now, saying that, I actually do like reading about war at the same time. It depends on the topic. I don't really like reading artillery books and things like that, or non-fiction books about war, unless there's there's a story to everything. But I guess what I'm saying is I like reading stuff about, the Holocaust and things like that, but I don't like reading about army life and things like that. It just doesn't really interest me at all. It just... anything to do with planes or can't do that. When it comes to fiction, I generally don't like to read westerns, but I haven't read one yet, so I don't know. So, do you have a favourite book? No, I don't have a favourite book. I don't like playing favourites, like I said, and my favourite book always changes constantly, so I do have a few favourites that I've kept on my shelf for a long time, but I don't have a favourite because I think, like my favourite books have a reason why they're my favourite, but I can't really say there's one book entirely that I would just put above everything else. So, no, I don't have a favourite. What's the worst book you've ever read? Oh god, from memory, I read a Kim Harrison book, which was a YA book, and that was just fucking horrendous. I think it was the Once Bitten, Twice Shy or something like that. It was just, I tried and I tried and I tried and I just could not read it. I wanted to burn it. It was so bad. Also, 120 Days of Sodom was just absolutely freaking horrible. It's an adult book that I picked up from an adult shop. Worst money I have ever spent. I thought it was going to be like a, 50 Shades of Grey, back in the time, kinky stuff, but it was just depressing, horrible, violent, and not anything that I would ever read again. And I actually tried to burn the book, but it wouldn't burn, so it was so sad. It ended up just going in the trash. I was so disgusted by it. It's just so bad. What is the biggest book you've ever read? Shit, son. I probably have to say one of the Harry Potter books from memory. Yeah, I can't really remember reading an extremely large book. I mean, I've read a couple of like 500, 600 page books, but I can't remember what they are, but I definitely have read big books in my life. What was the last book you bought? The last book that I bought was Coaching Successfully by John Eaton and Joy Johnson, because I am working on a business where I am going to be life coaching and organisation coaching. So I picked this up at the newsagents because it was cheap and I like reading, so I like information, I like learning, so yeah, I love learning. Which do you prefer, library books or buying books? A long time ago, I would have said buying books, and lately my buying and reading habits have changed a lot. I've had to kind of really work on not buying things, because you guys know, and I'm going to be probably doing a video too, that I have so many books. I have a room full of books I need to read, and I just don't want to spend my money on buying books and neglecting the ones that I already have. And I want to be able to reread books too. I really love rereading books, and I'm starting to get back into it because my psychological mindset behind it was that I have so many books, there's no time to reread my favourites. But the whole point of having favourites in a collection is that you can relive that experience many times. So I'm starting to kind of love rereading books and reading the books off my shelf, so I don't really want to buy books. And as for library books, I do enjoy going to the library, but that adds a whole lot of stress a lot of the time, because I don't like, having to confine my reading experience to a set date. I find it really, really stressful when that happens. And I know it used to be 4 weeks and now it's 3, and I have a feeling that they're going to reduce it down to 2 very soon. And 2 weeks is just not enough to read all the library books that I borrow, and I could probably borrow one book at a time, which I should, because I live like 5 minutes from the library just around the corner, but I generally tend to just pick up a lot of books and sort of read through them. And that was a really long-winded answer, but yeah, think about that. I think if I was to choose, I would probably say at the moment library books, because I don't want to buy books, but there are some books that I want to buy. But I'm gifting people books at the moment, so that's a whole different feeling, so I love doing that. And what are you reading right now? I'm reading still Learn Small Business Startup in 7 Days, and let me tell you guys, it's taken me almost 3 weeks to read this book, so it wasn't 7 days, but I'm working on it very, very slowly at my own pace. And I really enjoy working through the exercises, reading the chapters. I'm really enjoying actually doing the rough draft of my business plan. And because it's a library book, I don't have to do it in 7 days. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So I love business stuff. So those are the books that I bought, etc. borrowed. And this is my tag. So I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I shall speak to you all later. Bye.